Okay, off you go.
Thank you. Oops. Continue, it says. Whoops. I have made my mind up to be a sailor's wife, to have a purse that's full of money and a very easy life. For a clever sailor husband is seldom in his home, but a wife can spend the dollars with a will that's all her own. Blow high, blow low, fill the sails upon the sea. Sail him all around the world and send him safe to me. Blow high, blow low, fill the sails upon the sea. Sail him all around the world and send him safe to me. So I'll haste to wed a sailor and I'll send him off to sea. For a life of independence is the pleasant life for me. But every now and then I should like to see his face, for it always seems to me to shine with manly grace. Blow high, blow low, fill the sails upon the sea. Sail him all around the world and send him safe to me. Blow high, blow low, fill the sails upon the sea. Sail him all around the world and send him safe to me. With his brow so nobly open and his dark and kindly eye, my heart beats fondly toward him whenever he is nigh. But when he says goodbye, my love, I'm off across the sea. First I'll cry for his departure, then I laugh because I'm free. Blow high, blow low, fill the sails upon the sea. Sail him all around the world and send him safe to me. Blow high, blow low, fill the sails upon the sea. Sail him all around the world and send him safe to me. But I'll welcome him most warmly whenever he returns, and share with him most cheerfully all the money that he earns. For he's a loving husband, though he leads a roving life, and well I know how good it is to be a sailor's wife. Blow high, blow low, fill the sails upon the sea. Sail him all around the world and send him safe to me. Blow high, blow low, fill the sails upon the sea. Sail him all around the world and send him safe to me.
Maggie,
Hold on, Maggie.
could you move closer together? Your face was cut off in that thing.
Next time. Okay, who's next? Dave Harbord. It is you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, but I'm about to mute you, so you'll have to unmute yourself. Unmute.
That's it, I'm unmuted. Hear me now? This is ridiculous. Right, how's that? You hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, but we're all on mute, so we couldn't say.
Right, course, right. Anyway, yeah, this is an Easter song. I know it's a little bit after Easter, but I learned something recently that you lot probably learnt it many years ago. Is the word pace or passe or whatever means Easter in Latin. This is the pace egging song. So it's your Easter egg.
Hebrew too.
So you learn something every day, yeah. Here's 1, 2, 3, jolly lads, all in one mind. We are come a pace again, and we hope you'll prove kind. Yes, we hope you'll prove kind. We are eggs and strong beer, for we come no more nigh you until the next year. Now the first that comes in is Lord Nelson, you'll see. We a bunch of blue ribbons tied around by his knee, and a star on his chest that like silver does shine. And I hope he remembers his pace in time. Here's 1, 2, 3, jolly lads, all in one mind. We are come a pace again, now I hope you'll prove kind. Yes, we hope you'll prove kind. We are eggs and strong beer, for we come no more nigh you until the next year. Now the next that comes in, it is Lord Collingwood, and he fought with Lord Nelson till he shed his blood. Now he's come from the sea, old England to view, and he's come a pace again with all of his crew. Here's 1, 2, 3 jolly lads all in one mind. We are come a pace again, now we hope you'll prove kind. Yes, we hope you'll prove kind with your excellent strong beer, for we come no more nigh you until the next year. Now the last that comes in, it's old Tosspot, you'll see. He's a valiant old man, and in every degree. He's a valiant old man, and he wears a pigtail, and all his delight is in drinking malt ale. Here's 1, 2, 3 jolly lads all in one mind. We are come a pace again, and we hope you'll prove kind. Yes, we hope you'll prove kind with your excellent strong beer, for we come no more nigh you until the next year. Come, ladies and gentlemen, sitting by the fire, put your hands in your pockets and give us our desire. Put your hands in your pockets and treat us all right. If you give now, we'll take now. Farewell and good night. Here's 1, 2, 3 jolly lads all in one mind. We are come a pace again, and I hope you'll prove kind. Yes, we hope you'll prove kind with your excellent strong beer, for we come no more nigh you until the next year.
Hey. Thank you very much, Dave. Yeah. Well, probably that is the last we'll hear of that song until just about a year's time. Okay.
Pardon?
Who's next? Pal, you're next.
Am I?
Are you ready to unmute yourself?
Yes.
Then do it and take us away.
Am I unmuted now? Yeah. Black is the colour of my true love's hair. Her lips are like a rose so fair. She's got the sweetest face and the gentlest hands. I love the ground whereon she stands. I love my love, and well she knows. I love the ground whereon she goes, and how I wish the day would come when she and I will be as one. Black is the colour of my true love's hair. Her lips are like a rose so fair. She's got the sweetest face and the gentlest hands. I love the ground whereon she stands. I go to the Clyde and I mourn and weep. Satisfied, I never will sleep. I write her a letter, just a few short lines, and suffer death 10,000 times. Black is the colour of my true love's hair. Her lips are like a rose so fair. She's got the sweetest face and the gentlest hands. I love the ground whereon she stands. I love the ground whereon she stands.
Well done.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
That's real, folks.
Beautiful as ever, pal. Thank you. Garry Walker is up next. Garry, you ready?
Yep. Okay, well-known song. Martin said to his man, "Fie, man, fie." Martin said to his man, "Who's the fool now?" Martin said to his man, "Fill thou the cup and I the can. Thou hast well drunken, man, who's the fool now?" I saw the man in the moon, fie, man, fie. I saw the man in the moon, who's the fool now? I saw the man in the moon, clouting of St. Peter's shoon. Thou hast well drunken, man, who's the fool now? I saw the goose ring the hog, fie, man, fie. I saw the goose ring the hog, who's the fool now? I saw the goose ring the hog, saw the snail bite the dog. Thou hast well drunken, man, who's the fool now? I saw the hare chase the hound, fie, man, fie. I saw the hare chase the hound, who's the fool now? I saw the hare chase the hound, 20 miles above the ground. Thou hast well drunken, man, who's the fool now? I saw the mouse chase the cat, fie, man, fie. I saw the mouse chase the cat, who's the fool now? I saw the mouse chase the cat, saw the cheese eat the rat. Thou hast well drunken, man, who's the fool now? I saw a flea heave a tree, fie, man, fie. I saw a flea heave a tree, who's the fool now? I saw a flea heave a tree, 20 miles out to sea. Thou hast well drunken, man, who's the fool now? I saw a maid milk a bull, fie, man, fie. I saw a maid milk a bull, who's the fool now? I saw a maid milk a bull, every pull a bucket full. Thou hast well drunken, man, who's the fool now? Martin said to his man, fie, man, fie. Martin said to his man, who's the fool now? Martin said to his man, fill thou the cup and I the can. Thou hast well drunken, man, who's the fool now?
heard that one.
Oh, don't.
Thanks,
We've got a
Garry.
spare covered.
It's Garry.
So lots of people joining in there. Pity we can't hear them, but there we go. So Mark says, what was that? Oh,
God forbid you want me to sing.
I said Martin said to his man, so the next person to sing is Martin Neal, who will be able to verify that story or otherwise. Martin, what have you got for us?
Something completely different.
Make a change.
Okay. Just unmute yourself and fire away, Martin.
Right. Yes. What was I going to sing? As I walked out one. Maybe I'll take that then. As I walked out one evening, it being all in the month of May, down by some flowery gardens, some man to me did say, I overheard a fair young maid, and saw she did complain, and it's on the banks of Claudy, I'm sure she does remain. Well, I stepped up to this fair young maid, and I put her all in surprise. I alone she did not know me, I being all in disguise. I said, my fair and handsome maid, my joy and heart's delight, where do you mean to wander on this dark and stormy night? Oh, the way, kind sir, to Claudy, if you would be pleased to show. Take pity on a fair young maid that knows not where to go. For I am in search of my young man, and Johnny is his name. And it's on the banks of Claudy, I'm sure he does remain. Well, these are the banks of Claudy, fair maid, whereon you stand. But do not heed young Johnny, for he is a false young man. Oh, do not heed young Johnny, or he'd not leave you here. But tarry with me to yon green woods, no dangers need you fear. If Johnny had been here tonight, he'd have kept me from all harm. But he's on the field of battle, all in his uniform. He's on the field of battle, his foes he does destroy, like a prince or king of courage that fought all in the wars of Troy. Oh, it is 6 months or better since your true love left the shore. He's cruising the wide oceans where cannons loud do roar. He's cruising the wide oceans for honour and for gain. But I'm told his ship has been wrecked all on the fatal coast of Spain. Now when she heard these dreadful words, she could no longer stand. A tearing of her hair and the wringing of her hands. Since he has gone and left me, no man on earth I'll take. But it's on the banks of Claudy I'll wander for his sake. Now when he heard the word she spoke, he could no longer stand. He flew into her arms crying, Betsy, I'm that man. I am that faithless young man, the cause of all your pain. But it's since we've met on Claudy's banks, we'll never part again.
Well done, Martin.
Right.
Thank you, Martin. You made no
I'll sing.
reference to what Garry was alleging in his song. So I'm not sure if you want to respond to that now or just pass over it and pass on to John White.
Amanda,
Yes.
there's a number of singers who haven't put their hands up. I wonder if everybody knows.
I don't know. Singers who haven't put your hands up.
I haven't.
Well, get on with it.
I've put my hand up now.
Yeah. Okay. So if people aren't sure how to get themselves in the queue to sing, there's a participants button down the bottom of your screen. If you click on that, you'll then see a list of singers, a list of people.
Where's my...
And
on the iPad, it's at the top rather than the bottom of the screen.
Okay, it probably varies depending on what system you've got.
Clive's already got a hand up.
Yeah, Clive's got his hand up. I think most people have, but they're maybe simply being shy. But yeah, so participants button, and then there's a raise hand button in that, and that will put you in the list. So, without further ado, John White, are you ready to sing?
Am I unmuted?
No, everybody's unmuted, so just a second, and I'll sort everybody out. Okay, and I'm just going to bring you back in, John, and you're good to go.
Hello, folks. This is a song from Ewan MacColl. It's his elegy for the guys who crewed the sailing ships like the Cutty Sark in the days of sail. I am a bold seafaring man, I come from everywhere. Lay any point of the compass you choose, you're bound to find me there. Ball in the gale in the roaring 40s, entered in the log. Sent up aloft to the upper to cancels and christened in navy grog. All that I own are the clothes on my back and the tools of a sailor's trade. Befit at my palm a few needles, a spike, a knife with a good keen blade. I've a bunk in the forecastle, a place on a bench in the galley where I can feed, and a hook for to hang me old skins up. What more does a shellback need? I've sailed both Atlantics and doubled both capes more times than I can tell. Fought the big seas in a parish rig bark and froze at Cape Farewell. I've cursed the calms and the doldrums when you'd swear the wind was dead. and laid 2 off Cape Horn in the westerly gale that would blow the air off your hand. To the Weaverly bread and the Maccoty horse, I've added me words of abuse. I've pounded ship's biscuit to powder and mixed it with bugfat and jaggery juice. With the galley wash for a week on end, I've gone hungry early and late. Been served with pea soup that could stand on the poop deck and scare off the blue-nosed mate. I've signed on with short-handed Yankee ships, with masters who know the score. Sailed with the drinkers who can't navigate a course past the barroom door. I've served with masters who sailors and know how to treat a matter well. And some of the others, the miserable buggers, have made my life a hell. Goodbye, you square riggers, your voyaging's done. Farewell to the days of sail. Goodbye, you Cape Horners and every tall ship that ever defied a gale. Goodbye to the Shellbacks who rode the winds through a world of sea and sky. Your roving is over, your seafaring's ended. You mariners all, goodbye. Sure.
Stunning.
Fantastic, John. Thank you. And what a better song to have before Riggy, who's standing there in front of a beautiful clipper.
His own personal transportation, I believe.
Okay.
So this is. You have to imagine here.
Hi, I'm just gonna mute everybody else. Hang on. Unmute yourself, Riggy.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have to imagine now that Thomas Moore met Jock Stewart, introduced by what was his name? The shanty singer from Stan Hugill. I'm leaving old Ireland, the land that I love, and I'm bound for across the sea. And I'm bound for Australia, the land of the free, where there'll be a welcome for me. So fill up your glasses and drink what you please, and whatever the damage, I'll pay. So be easy and free whilst you're drinking with me. Sure, I'm a man you don't meet every day. When I board me ship for the Southern to go, she'll be looking so trim and so fine. And I'll land me aboard with me bags and me stores. From the dockside we'll cast off each line. So fill up your glasses and drink what you please, and whatever the damage I'll pay. So be easy and free whilst you're drinking with me. Sure, I'm a man you don't meet every day. We'll round the rock light, we'll soon drop the tug, and sheets topsails home tossed, and the hands will crowd sail upon the sail. With a southwester strong, boys, we'll soon tack along. By the morn, many jibs will turn pale. So fill up your glasses and drink what you please, and whatever the damage, I'll pay. So be easy and free whilst you're drinking with me. Sure, I'm a man you won't meet every day. We'll cruise past the Ushant and then down the bay, wave a hearty goodbye to the shore, and we'll drink the last drop to our country's green land, and the next day our heads will be sore. So fill up your glasses and drink what you please, and whatever the damage I'll pay. So be easy and free whilst you're drinking with me. Sure, I'm a man you don't meet every day.
Thanks, Riggy.
Lovely, Riggy.
We've already did it, Clive. We've did it.
Thanks,
Okay.
Riggy.
I've got my hand up.
No,
I know you've got your hand up, Clive. You're in a queue. Keep your 2 meters distance.
I'm in the queue.
You're in the queue. You're in the queue. It may be accidental.
37 years. Pardon?
It may be accidental, but you are in the queue.
Then.
It's a 2 meter distant queue. Okay, who's next? Simon, are you ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay, doke. Don't forget to unmute yourself.
I'm sure you all know this song. This is one of the most beautiful of American songs. I think written 150 years ago, something like that. Let us pause in life's pleasures and count its many tears, while we sob sorrow with the poor. There's a song that will linger forever in our ears. Oh, hard times come again no more. It's a song, the sigh of the weary. Hard times come again no more. Many days you have lingered around my cabin door. Oh, hard times come again no more. While we seek mirth and beauty and music light and gay, there are frail forms fainting at the door. Oh, their voices are silent, their pleading looks will say, oh, hard times come again no more. It's a song, the sigh of the weary. Hard times come again no more. Many days you have lingered around my cabin door. Oh, hard times come again no more. There's a pale, sorrowed maiden who toils her life away, with a worn heart whose better days are o'er. Though her voice would be merry, 'tis sighing all the day. Oh, hard times come again no more. 'Tis a song, the sigh of the weary. Hard times come again no more. Many days you have lingered around my cabin
wave. 'Tis a wail that is heard upon the shore. 'Tis a dirge that is murmured around the lowly grave. Oh, hard times come again no more. It's a song, the sigh of the weary. Hard times come again no more. Many days you have lingered around my cabin door. Oh, hard times come again no more.
Beautiful.
Gorgeous.
I was stopped halfway through because my computer was slipping off my desk.
Speaking.
I was trying to join in on my concertina and I got told not to.
It's okay when you're muted. I always join in as long as I'm muted. You can't do it when you're not muted because then it's awful.
If you're in real isolation,
I found it.
Eventually.
Well, thank you all for joining in with those wonderful harmonies. Oh, what's good about this is you can try a harmony that you would never dare to do in the presence of other people, and yeah. Okay. Who's next? Who's next? Dave, Clare, you're up next. What have you got for us?
Wonderful.
Go before Clive.
My favourite.
It's a song I learned from a cassette done for me by younger Dave Harbord, or he was then, by Al O'Donnell, who made 2 albums in the 70s. Absolutely wonderful singer and instrumentalist, and amazing that he was never a bigger name. It's wonderful and I think the narrator of this song is not into forgiveness, I think you could safely say. Oh, Kevin, I'm cursing you and praying hurt on you and hate on high. And on the band that's near to you, never leaving you, close by your side. You committed perjury to damn us brothers 3, and you told false tales, and sent the Connerys across the raging seas to New South Wales. He who was standing there doing his thinking clear on our trial being tried from early in the morn until the day was done, truth was denied. Oh, the ground shook under us as lies came thunderous to decide our fate. I fear the perjured soul is in the darkest hole, so the holy clergy say. O Queen of Heaven bright, and King of all worlds might, beg release for us all. And to our sister young, alone now in her home, with her child so small. When mass you're reading, be you pleading that our courage won't fail, the Connerys to come safe and honour home from New South Wales. The Connerys.
Amazing.
Jimmy Crowley sings that in Irish.
Who does?
Jimmy Crowley.
For Christ's sake. I'm thinking English.
No, but he sings Jimmy Crowley in Irish.
In Irish.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I just want a reminder that Clive is still in the queue, but it's not you next. It's actually Angelica.
Oh.
Angelica, this is the first time you've sung in this session, I think. Welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
It's more nerve-wracking than real life.
Okay. Okay, don't forget to unmute yourself in a second.
Okay, can you hear me? I wrote this song at the beginning of lockdown. I wasn't really expecting that we would be singing together like this. I stepped outside to see the world. Not a car nor a plane could be heard. Not one soul around, not a whisper. Just the springtime singing of birds. I gazed up at the fresh leaves on the trees with a mix of wonder and unease. A virus from 5,000 miles away had reached us to bring us to our knees. In the blink of an eye, we're a lifetime away from the ordinary joys of yesterday. When we used to sing together with a feeling of forever, when will we sing again? Let us hope and pray for a better day when we get out the other side. An eerie kind of beauty filled the park. In a daze, in a dream, I took my walk. Never had the sky looked so blue. Never had the shadows looked so dark. In the blink of an eye, we're a lifetime away from the ordinary joys of yesterday. When we used to sing together with a feeling of forever, when will we sing again? Let us hope and pray for a better day when we get out the
Lovely.
I will.
Thank you, Angelica. That was great. And, yeah, when will we get out the other side? We don't know yet. Someday, but possibly not soon. I don't know.
Someday soon.
Or not.
Someday soon.
Yeah. Anyway, who's now? Oh, Caroline. Caroline, it's over to you.
Hi. Okay, let's go. The king has been a prisoner, and a prisoner long in Spain. And Willie o' Winsbury has lain with daughter Jane. What ails ye, my daughter Jane, that you look so pale and wan? Oh, have you had any sore sickness? Oh, have you been sleeping with a man? I've not had any sore sickness, nor yet been sleeping with a man. It is for you, my father dear, for biding so long in Spain. Cast off your berry brown gown, stand naked upon a stone, that I may tell by your shape if you've been a maiden or none. So she's cast off her berry brown gown, stood naked upon a stone. Her apron was low, her haunches round, her skin was pale as milk. Or was it with a lord or a duke or a knight, or a man of birth and fame? Or was it one of my serving men that's lately come out from Spain? Oh no, it wasn't with a lord or a knight, or a man of birth and fame. It was with Willie o' Winsbury, I could bide no longer alone. The king sent out his merry men all, by one, by two, by three. Go fetch me that Willie o' Winsbury, for hanged he shall be. But when he stood the king before, he was clad all in red silk. His hair was like the strands of gold, his skin was white as milk. It is no wonder, cried the king, that my daughters love you won. If I was a woman as I am a man, my bedfellow you'd have been. And will you marry my daughter Jane by the truth of your right hand? And will you marry my daughter Jane? I'll make you the lord of my land. And yes, I'll marry your daughter Jane by the truth of my right hand. And yes, I'll marry your daughter Jane, but I won't be a lord of your land. He's mounted her on a milk-white steed, himself on the dappled grey. I'll make you a lady of as much land as you run in a long summer's day.
You inspired by the classic folk
Lovely song.
that Mike Norris put out, because that was on there, wasn't it? Willie of Winsbury. Hey, Mike.
Was that the moral
What
of
was
the
that?
story?
Sorry,
Was
that too.
was the moral of the story that the king let him off because he was good looking?
Yes.
Yes.
No, because he was
Let's
rich.
get your priorities right.
It's because he was rich.
No, he
Could afford silk clothing.
Well, he was obviously some kind of elf king, because, like, why else would the king not know that this amazing man lives in his realm? Anyway, yeah, the king was totally gonna bang him if given half a chance. So, you know, come on, you know it.
Okay, moving swiftly on. The moment we've all been waiting for. Clive Woolf has reached the top of the queue.
Hey!
Hey.
Oh, God forbid.
Yeah.
Not ready, Amanda. They're not ready.
Right. Are we ready?
I think we are. Yeah.
I'm not.
You're good to go, Clive.
Right. Here we go. Port suddenly sat weeping down by the too high. Port suddenly sat weeping down by the sea side. Poor Sally sat weeping down by the seaside. What ails you, mightn't you well? What ails you, mightn't you well? What ails you, might you well? And causes you to cry. Why? Because I'm uneasy and troubled in mind. Because I'm uneasy and troubled in mind. There's no joy, no comfort. There's no joy, no comfort. There's no joy, no comfort in this world can I find. Once I had a sweetheart, but now I'm winding up none. Once I had a sweetheart, but now I'm winding up none. He's gone, and he's leaving me. He's gone, he's deceiving me. He's gone, and he's leaving me in sorrow to mourn. If he had but loved me as he didn't pretend, if he had but loved me as he didn't pretend, he never would have leaving me, nor never deceived me. He never would have leaving me until my life's end. I'll send me a sailing for France and for Spain. I'll send me a sailing for France and for Spain. On shipboard I'll enter, my sweet life I'll venture, and never return to old England again.
Great stuff, Clive. Thank you. Oh, another newcomer to this session, at least to the virtual session, is another Martin Woodford.
Yes.
Welcome, Martin.
Welcome, thank you. Cat.
Have you unmuted yourself, Martin? Oh, we've lost your... Oh, there.
Lovely. Okay, I'm sure you'll know the song, whether you recognise it or not, it's another thing. A maritime theme. was homeward bound one night on the day. Whoa. Start again. Was homeward bound one night on the day. Swinging in my hammer gun, I found flame. I dreamed a dream, and I thought it true concerning Franklin and his going crew. With 100 seamen he sailed away. The frozen ocean in the month of May. Seek a passage all around the pole, where we poor seamen, we do sometimes go. Through cruel hardships they madly stroll, watch against mountains of ice was grown. Only the Eskimo in his skin canoe was the only one to ever come through. Laughing Bay where the whalefish blow, fate to Franklin now, well, no man knows. Fate to Franklin, oh, no one can tell. Franklin alone, but the sailors do dwell. And now my burden, it gives me pain. For my lost Franklin, I would cross the main. £5,000 would I freely give to no one else, but Franklin do live.
Right one, Martin.
Been lovely, lovely.
Yeah, wonderful. Thanks, Martin.
Great, thanks, Martin.
Son's alternative take on it.
I think some people are breaking up a lot depending on how close they are to the microphone. If anybody has got the turn on original sound, please set it. If you haven't got it, you can't, but if it's there, please do it.
Original sound, top screen.
Yeah, it's slightly confusing because when it says it's kind of the what you read is the opposite of what is actually there.
So if it says turn on original sound, you've got original sound.
Yeah, yeah.
And if it says turn off, it means.
Yeah, I can't. It's very confusing.
Intuitive.
Sometimes the guitars sound really funny.
Anyway, original sound or not, our next singer is Ray.
All right, good.
Just muting. Unmute yourself, Ray, and then fire away.
Should be good there, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
As I went a walking one fine summer's morning, the birds and the bushes did whistle and sing. The lads and the lassies in couples were courting, going back to the factory, their work to begin. I spied one among them, she was fairer than any. Her cheeks like the red rose that blooms in the spring. her hair like a lily that grows in yon valley. And besides, she's a hard-working factory girl. I stepped up to her more closely to view her, when on me she cast a bright look of disdain, saying, young man, have manners and do not insult me, for although I'm a poor girl, I think it no shame. It's not for to scorn you, fair maid, I adore you. Come grant me one favour to know where do you dwell. Young man, excuse me, for now I must leave you, for yonder's the sound of my factory bell. But I have fine houses all adorned with ivory. I have gold in my pocket and silver as well. And if you'll come with me, a lady I'll make you, and no more will you heed yon factory bell. Oh, love and temptation are our ruination. Go find you a lady and may you do well. For I am a poor girl with ne'er a relation, and content I'm a hard-working factory girl. Thank you.
No.
Great stuff. Who's next? Kathy.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. No chorus, I'm afraid, but you'll know it, so sing along. There was a lady in the north, you could scarcely find her marrow. She was courted by 9 noblemen, and the plough land grey Yarrow. These 9 sat drinking at the wine, sat drinking wine on Yarrow. They made a vow among them all, for to fight for her on Yarrow. She's washed his face, she's combed his hair, as she has done before. She's dressed him like a bold, brave knight, oh, for to fight for her on Yarrow. Well, he's gone up yon high, high hill, and down the glen so narrow, and there he's met 9 armoured men, come to fight for her on Yarrow. Well, 3 he slew and 3 withdrew, 3 he wounded sorely, till her brother John came in behind and wounded him most foully. Oh, father dear, well, I dreamed a dream of pain and sorrow. I dreamt I was pulling the heifer bells on the Dowie downs of Yarrow. Oh, daughter dear, I read your dream. It will bring pain and sorrow, for your own true love lies pale and wan on the Dowie downs of Yarrow.
Well, she's gone up yon high, high hill, and down the glens the narrow, and there she's found her bold brave knight, lying pale and wan on Yarrow. She's washed his face, she's combed his hair, as she has done before. Oh, she's kissed him on his cold, cold lips, on the Dowie dens of Yarrow. Her hair it was 3/4 long, and the colour it was yellow. She's wrapped it round his middle small, and she's carried him home to Yarrow. Oh, father dear, you 7 sons, you could wed them all tomorrow, but the fairest flower among them all was the lad I wooed on Yarrow.
Beautiful, Kathy.
Lovely version, Kathy. Thank you. I'm going to put my hand up now, and because I don't have a hand to put in the queue, so I just have to jump in when I feel like it. And so
You're
this
the
is
boss.
what? Who speaks?
Clive.
You have the power, Amanda. Use it.
I'm going to mute the lot of you. But yeah, this is continuing. There's been a fair maritime theme this evening, so I thought I'd carry on with that. It's got a chorus, so please join in, although I won't hear you. I have done my share of carving figureheads of quaint design for the olives and the ruddocks and the famous black ball line, brigantines and barks and clippers, brigs and schooners lithe and tall, but the bounding Marco Polo was the flower of them all. While my hands are steady, while my eyes are good, I will carve the music of the wind into the wood. I can see that white-winged clipper reeling under scudding clouds, dancing down a hazy skyline with a norther in her shrouds. I can feel her lines of beauty, see her flecked with spume and brine, as she drives her scuppers under with that figurehead of mine. While my hands are steady, while my eyes are good, I will carve the music of the wind into the wood. 'Twas of seasoned pine I made it, clear from outer bark to core, from the finest piece of timber, from the mast pond on straight shore. Every bite of axe or chisel, every ringing mallet welt, wrought from out that block of timber all the spirit that I felt. While my hands are steady, while my eyes are good, I will carve the music of the wind into the wood. I had read of Marco Polo till his daring deeds were mine, and I saw them all a-glowing in that balsam-scented pine. Saw his eyes alight with purpose, facing every vagrant breeze, saw him lilting free and careless over all the 7 seas. while my hands are steady, while my eyes are good, I will carve the music of the wind into the wood. That was how I did my carving, beat of heart and stroke of hand, putting into life and action all the purpose I had planned. Flowing robes and wind-tossed tresses, forms of beauty, strength, design, I saw them all and tried to carve them in that figurehead of mine. While my hands are steady, while my eyes are good, I will carve the music of the wind into the wood. And when my hands grow feeble and my outward eyes grow dim, I will see again those clippers reeling o'er the ocean's rim, great white fleet of reeling rovers, wind above and surf beneath, with the Marco Polo leading and my carving in her teeth. While my hands are steady, while my eyes are good, I will carve the music of the wind into the wood.
Gorgeous.
Amanda.
Thank you. I could see you all joining in.
What a great song.
Silently. Who's next? Who's next? Oh, Neil is next.
Right.
Where are you, Neil?
So I'm unmuting myself, and I'm going to stick to the maritime theme, the Greenland whale fisheries. We may no longer stay ashore, since we're so deep in debt. So off to Greenland we must sail, some money for to get, brave boys, some money for to get. It was when we come to those icy grounds, our good ship for 2 more. It was then that we wished ourselves back again, with the pretty girls ashore, brave boys, with the pretty girls ashore. Our boatswain, he goes up aloft, with a spyglass in his hand. There's a whale, oh, a whale, oh, a whalefish, he cries, and she blows at every span, brave boys. Yes, she blows at every span. Now the captain stood on the quarter-deck, and a sod of a man was he. Overhaul, let your davy tackles fall. And we launched our boats, all 3 brave boys. Yes, we launched our boats, all 3. The harpoon stuck and the line played out, but she gave a flurry of her tail. By chance we lost 2 men overboard, and we never caught that whale, brave boys. No, we never caught that whale. Now the losing of 2 fine seamen, it grieved the captain sure. But when he heard of the losing of the whale, that was half-mast colours, all brave boys. That was half-mast colours all. When the winter star did appear, it was time for us to, it's time for our anchors for to weigh, to stow below our running gear, And from Greenland bear away, brave boys, and from Greenland bear away. 'Cause Greenland is a dreadful place, in winter no one can stay. For the whales they do go, and the ice it does grow, and it's seldom ever day, brave boys. Oh, it's seldom ever day.
Yeah, great one.
Amanda,
Hello.
could I have 60 seconds to tell a story about that song of Alan Lomax?
Yes, carry on, please, John. Do.
Alan Lomax was talking about that song and how people sing it at 9, 11, 13, 15 verses. But when he was doing his collecting, he went to the Sea Islands off southeast of the States, and an old black lady sang a one-verse version. And the harpoon struck, and the line ran out, and the whale gave a flunder with his tail, and the boat overturned, and my darling man was drowned. No more Greenland for you, brave boys. No more.
The president
much longer for you.
Let's have a challenge that we rewrite every song into just one verse. It's got to be possible.
Yeah, there's that one verse with Lord Randall. Do you remember that one verse with Lord Randall? Where have you been all the day, Randall, my son? Nowhere, mother.
Well, Dave Clare has been heard to say at the end of a long ballad when somebody has sung it, I could have edited that down to 3 verses. Man's got no soul. Bang.
It's like John Tracy's digested read in the Guardian, isn't it?
But he's in his place.
John Tracy used to do a digested read on the Guardian. He'd do a classic in about 200 words.
All right, I'm going to mute you all. And James Eagle, you're going to unmute yourself and give us a song.
Right, you are. This is topical-ish because it's Anzac Day on Saturday, which is also the anniversary of the Gallipoli campaign. So you'll all know this one. It's by Eric Bogle. When I was a young man, I carried me pack, and I lived the free life of a rover. From the Murray's green basin to the dusty outback, well, I waltzed my Matilda all over. Then in 1915 my country said, son, it's time to stop roving, for there's work to be done. So they gave me a tin hat and they gave me a gun, and they sent me away to the war. And the band played Waltzing Matilda as our ship pulled away from the quay. And amidst all the cheers, flag waving and tears, we sailed off for Gallipoli. Now well I remember that terrible day when the blood stained the sand and the water, and how in that hell that they called Suvla Bay we were butchered like lambs at the slaughter. Johnny Turk, he was ready, he'd primed himself well. He showered us with bullets and he rained us with shell, and in 5 minutes flat he'd blown us all to hell. Nearly blew us right back to Australia. And the band played Waltzing Matilda as we stopped to bury our slain. And we buried ours, and the Turks buried theirs. Then it started all over again. Now those who were living did their best to survive in that mad world of death, blood and fire. And for 7 weary weeks I kept myself alive, while the corpses around me piled higher. Then a big Turkish shell knocked me arse overhead, and when I awoke in me hospital bed and saw what it had done, Christ, I wished I was dead. Never knew there were worse things than dying. For no more I'll go waltzing Matilda all around the green bush far and near. For to hump tent and pegs a man needs both legs. No more waltzing Matilda for me. So they collected the crippled, the wounded and maimed, and they shipped us back home to Australia. The armless, the legless, the blind and insane, all those proud wounded heroes of Suvla. And as our ship pulled into Circular Quay, I looked at the place where me legs used to be, and thanked Christ there was no one there waiting for me, to grieve and to mourn and to pity. And the band played Waltzing Matilda as they carried us down the gangway. But nobody cheered, they just stood and stared, and they turned their faces away. So now every April I sit on my porch and I watch the parades pass before me. I see me old comrades, how proudly they march, reliving old dreams of past glory. The old men march slowly, all bent stiff and sore, the forgotten warriors of a forgotten war, and the young people ask me, what are they marching for? And I ask myself the same question. And the band plays Waltzing Matilda, and the old men still answer the call. But year after year their numbers get fewer. Someday no one will march there at all. Waltzing Matilda, who'll come a waltzing Matilda with me? And their ghosts may be heard as you pass by that billabong. Who'll come a waltzing Matilda with me?
Yeah, just.
Thanks, James. Sobering thought. Now, I think that we will actually, after the next singer, we will have a break. There are still some people who haven't sung, so you'll still be first up in the second half. But rather than have the break 2/3 of the way through, like I ended up doing last week, we'll have at half time. So our next singer is Hazel Richings. Hazel, what have you got for us?
Lady.
A song I think
Unmute. Unmute yourself, Hazel.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. This is a song, Beverley, where I live in Yorkshire, has a beck waterway, and in the olden days the tannery had 16 vessels that sailed up and down doing all the transiting of the pelts for the tannery and then coal coming in and out as well. And Sintan, short for synthetic tannery, was one of the 16 vessels. And my mate Linda Kelly wrote a song about them called Leather Cinderella. Back in the days when work was hard and the wages were few, she would be up every day with the lark, knew what she had to do. With rawhide and leather, with a full load on deck, she would make her way southwards down Beverley Beck. Well, look at her now. She's happy and shining in her Sunday best dress, and she's ready to sail. Is she fit for the bowl? Our own Cinderella, come join one and all in this fine fairy tale. And that was your chorus. And did she smile, or was her life back-breaking and raw? Did the master cause her strife, lumping coal back and forth? Did she yearn for the good life? Did she want to be free? Did the rivermen taunt her with an ocean of dreams? Well, look at her now. She's happy and shining in her Sunday best dress, and she's ready to sail. Is she fit for the ball? Our own Cinderella, come join one and all in this fine fairy tale. And down the Humber she would sail with pigskin and pelt. Nobody cared how sad she was or asked how she felt. Then the tannery closure left little to say. So they dumped little Sintan in a damp, muddy grave. Well, look at her now. She's happy and shining in her Sunday best dress, and she's ready to sail. Is she fit for the ball? Our own Cinderella, come join one and all in this fine fairy tale. And of her 16 sisters fair, well, where are they now? Did all the dreams become nightmares when the work was shut down? Were they robbed and abandoned? Did they end up as wrecks? No more to journey down Beverly Beck. Well, look at her now. She's happy and shining in her Sunday best dress, and she's ready to sail. Is she fit for the ball? Our own Cinderella, come join one and all in this fine fairy tale. Well, little Sintan, here you are, both charming and fair. Surrounded by those who love you well, you haven't a care. Don't think of your past life and the tannery ways. You'll be safe and secure, love, for the rest of your days. Well, look at her now. She's happy and shining in her Sunday best dress, and she's ready to sail. Is she fit for the ball? Our own Cinderella, come join one and all in this fine fairy tale. Is she fit for the ball? Our own Cinderella, come join one and all in this fine fairy tale. Because the Sintan now is a vessel on which you can party or have a lecture or something else.
Lovely, Hayden. Lovely.
While you were singing, I just googled Sintan and I found the website.
Thank you, Hazel. Thank you very much. A great song to finish that first half on. We'll take a short break, but just before that, any parish notices?
Where are the Wilsons?
Isolating.
Kathy, have you got a parish notice?
Yeah, I'll give you a Jerry update.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, hang on a minute, just a second then. Let me pause the
as well, because she gave me the name of the people. You know the song I sang the first week, Breathing Should Be the Easiest Thing? It turns out it's a song called The Easiest Thing. It's Anne Lister who wrote it, and I actually remember now that I heard them singing at Walthamstow Folk Club with Anonyma. So I just wanted to give credit where credit was due for that song there that I sang a couple of weeks ago. And yeah, I was going to sing just like Caroline. I was inspired by classic folk, and decided I was going to sing Bushes and Briars, I think. There we go. Through bushes and through briars, I lately took my way, all for to hear the small birds sing, and the lambs to sport and play, all for to hear the small birds sing, and the lambs to sport and play. It does have a repeated last line each time, so you can all join in on the last line. I overheard my own true love. His voice did sound so clear. Long time I have been waiting for the coming of my dear. Long time have I been waiting for the coming of my dear. Sometimes I am uneasy and troubled in my mind. Sometimes I think I'll go and see my love and tell to him my mind. Sometimes I think I'll go and see my love and tell to him my mind. But if I should go to my love, he may say nay. If I show to him my boldness, he'll ne'er love me again. If I show to him my boldness, he'll ne'er love me again. Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Tara. Lovely stuff to finish.
Beautiful.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you. I think we'll start again. So we've still got a number of outstanding singers in all meanings of the word from the first half. So if there's anybody, I see a couple of people added themselves. If there's anyone else who has not sung yet who wants to sing, please put your hand up now. Otherwise, we'll start going back round again, and
I'm thinking about.
Everybody is free to put their hand up again. Okay, so who is next? Jude. Jude, you are next. What have you got for us? Are you there, Jude?
Yes.
Not sure.
Yes, she's back.
You back? Jude, are you there? Yes.
You have muted us.
You ready? Yeah, I'm just muting everybody. Unmute yourself, Jude.
All right, this one has a chorus, so please join in. I'm only a young girl, my fortune's been sad since I fell in love with a young sailor lad. 6 months have I courted both night and by day, but now in his transports he's gone far away. If I was a blackbird, could whistle and sing, I'd follow the vessel my true love sails in, and in the top rigging there I'd build my nest, and I'd flutter my wings o'er his lily white breast. He promised to take me to Donnybrook Fair, to buy me blue ribbons to tie in my hair. And if he should meet me, I'd crown him with joy, and I'd kiss the sweet lips of my young sailor boy. If I was a blackbird, could whistle and sing, I'd follow the vessel my true love sails in, and in the top rigging there I'd build my nest, and I'd flutter my wings o'er his lily white breast. If I was a scholar, could handle a pen, just one private letter to him I would send. I would write and I'd tell him of my grief and my woe, and far o'er the ocean with him I would go. Oh, if I was a blackbird, could whistle and sing, I'd follow the vessel my true love sails in, and in the top rigging there I'd build my nest, and I'd flutter my wings o'er his lily white breast.
Thank you, Jude. We now have Jan Ayres. I shall mute everyone. If you're going to mute yourself, you'll be good to go. Jan? Hello? Jan Ayres, can you hear me? Can anyone hear me? Okay. Ah! Oh, something weird happened to my screen there. Jan, you're ready to go, I think. Ah, hang on a minute. I don't think you've got your mic on, by the looks of it.
I think she might be a very slow connection as well.
I'm not sure. I can see there's not actually a mic symbol. So I think we might have to come back to you, Jan. In which case, instead of Jan, we have Richard.
In which case, I unmute myself, and I will sing the one what I would have sung last week if I'd remembered in time that it was Tuesday evening. This is definitely one for Easter. One of Sydney Carter's. It was on the Friday morning that they took me from the cell, and I saw they had a carpenter to crucify as well. You can blame it onto Pilate, you can blame it on the Jews, you can blame it on the devil, but it's God I accuse. It's God they ought to crucify instead of you and me. I said unto the carpenter hanging on the tree. You can blame it on to Adam, you can blame it on to Eve, you can blame it on the apple, but that I can't believe. For God made the devil and the woman and the man, and there wouldn't be an apple if it wasn't in the plan. It's God they ought to crucify instead of you and me. I said unto the carpenter hanging on the tree. Now Barabbas was a killer, and they let Barabbas go, and you are being crucified for nothing here below, and God's in his heaven, and he doesn't do a thing, and a million angels watching, and they never move a wing. It's God they ought to crucify instead of you and me. I said unto the carpenter hanging on the tree. To hell with Jehovah, to the carpenter I said. I wish that a carpenter had made the world instead. Goodbye and good luck to you, and if our ways divide, remember me in heaven, the man you hung beside. It's God they ought to crucify instead of you and me. I said unto the carpenter hanging on the tree. That's that one.
I was expecting the carpenter to reply.
Yes.
Ah, interesting.
I think that's all there is.
Okay. So, Jan, are you okay to sing now? Can we hear you? Jan? I'm not sure your sound is working.
She doesn't seem to respond.
No, something's not working here. Okay. Jan, if we can't, if you can say something now, or we'll have to move on. No, something is definitely not working there, I'm afraid. So we're beginning to go back round, and so if you have sung before, feel free to put your metaphorical hand up now. And oh, so it's actually it's Hazel Richings is back with us already. Hazel, let's be having you.
Okay.
Are you going to unmute yourself, or is it just going to be a mime show?
Before I talk too much, I better unmute myself. I've been rummaging. I've got tons of paper around me. I've been trying to file it in order, finding everything from about 2002 when I started singing with my friends. Anyway, this is by a friend called David Swan, and it's completely different. Maybe not quite folky, but boat related. Sometimes you're sinking, sometimes you're sailing on a smooth ocean. Sometimes you're sinking in a troubled storm. Sometimes you're flying in a wide open sky. Sometimes you're falling a long way from home. The light and the dark, the day and the night, the give and the take, the wrong and the right. Love seems to lie somewhere in between the light and the dark. The light and the dark. Sometimes you're flying faster than the speed of sound. Sometimes your sweet dreams are in pieces on the ground. Sometimes I still think of you in the cold, cold rain. You pick up the pieces and try and start again. The light and the dark, the day and the night, the give and the take, the wrong and the right. Love seems to lie somewhere in between the light and the dark. Love seems to lie somewhere in between the light and the dark. Thank you.
Lovely.
We are having some cracking songs this evening. Now, I think John White, you've been away for a while, and I see you're there now. So, could I call upon you to sing again, please?
Aha! You told me it was on the coffee table.
Yeah.
That's where I picked it up.
John, I'm just gonna mute everybody and then unmute you.
See how my phone.
Yes. Oh.
Okay.
Yes, you're good to go, John. Fire away.
The reason I've been away is going to make some people a bit envious. A friend of mine gave me a big bottle of Junction beer to drink tonight, which I normally drink when I'm up at Sharps. So I was just putting the bottle away. Anyway, let's get down with the song. This is a song from the Victorian times, the music hall, at the time when our streets were full of horses and not white vans. And many a family had their own horse and were very fond of it. It's Down the Road Away Went Polly. When I do this at Sharps, everybody really belts this out. It's really great to hear. But don't forget the last verse, the words change a bit. Since first I copped a tidy lump of swag, well, I've always had a decent little nag. And one as I shall sing about to you now was worth 1,000,000 shimmies in a bag. I raced against the best that could be found. 4 owners made a stake of £50. Well, that race was duly run, and I'll tell you how we won with brave Polly, my old pony, world renowned. Down the road, away went Polly with a step so jolly that I knew she'd win. Down the road, the pace was killing, but the bear was willing for a lightning spin. Everybody looked, all the rest were licked and might as well have ne'er been born. Whoa, mare, you've earned your little bit of corn. Fred Jones the butcher said the form's untrue. I'll tell you now just what I'm going to do. My cob shall race against your mare next Sunday, and 50 more bright sovereigns I will blue. If you can prove she beat him once again, I'll never more in this world touch a rein. Well, I knew he got no chance, but he insisted on the dance. So now I'll tell you how we slew the slain. Down the road, away went Polly with the step so jolly that I knew she'd win. Down the road, the pace was killing, but the bear was willing for a lightning spin. All the rest were licked and might as well have ne'er been born. Whoa, mare, you've earned your little bit of corn. But soon after this, she met her final goal. Well, I'd had that little wonder from afore, and grief too keen to talk about was mine when poor Paul was carted off to fill a hole. My family and my friends all came with me, the last of poor pet pony Paul to see. And the neighbours shared the grief that was felt beyond belief when they buried my old Polly, R.I.P. Down the road, away went Polly, not a step was jolly, 'twould have seemed a sin. Down the road, the pace was killing, but the dead mare willing for a final spin. Everybody looked so sad, and I felt so forlorn. Whoa, mare, you've earned your little bit of corn.
What a great song. I love that. It's so unusual, actually.
Really?
Ray McLoughlin, you're next. What do you have for us?
Okay, am I unmute myself? Do I?
You need to unmute yourself now, yeah.
Okay. I'll sing an Ed Pickford song. When I was young and in me prime, I could hew, well, I'd be hewing all the time. Now me hewing days are through. Now me hewing days are through. Well, at that face that dust did flee, I could hew, but now that dust is killing me, and me hewing days are through. Now me hewing days are through. I've lain down flat and shoveled coal Could you, and the eyes did smart in that dust-filled hole. Now me Ewan days are through, through. Now me Ewan days are through. I've worked with maras and they were men. Could you, and they were men and sons of men. Now me Ewan days are through, through. Now me Ewan days are through. Well, it's soon that pit no more I'll see. Could you, but I'll carry it round inside of me. And me Ewan days are through, through. Now me Ewan days are through. That's it.
Wilson's would have done that one.
Thanks. I've just had Moira just sent a message saying that yeah, you missed the first round, so I'm not sure what happened there. But as you didn't sing in the first half, please go ahead now. I'll skip you up the queue. Yeah. Sorry about that. So Moira, go ahead.
Okay.
Just unmute yourself first, or we'll miss you altogether.
Okay, you can hear me? Yeah. There's several versions of this, but this is an Irish version that I heard from Neve Parsons. If all the young ladies were blackbirds and thrushes, if all the young ladies were blackbirds and thrushes, then all the young men would go beating the bushes. Ah, fal-de-ral, diddle-doll day. If all the young ladies were ducks on the water, if all the young ladies were ducks on the water, then all the young men would go swimming in after. Ah, fal-de-ral, diddle-doll day. If all the young ladies were rushes a-growing, if all the young ladies were rushes a-growing, then all the young men would take sides and go mowing. Ah, fal-de-ral, diddle-doll day. If the ladies were all trout and salmon so likely, if the ladies were all trout and salmon so likely, then Divil the man would go fishing on Friday. Ah, fal-de-ral, diddle-doll day. If all the young ladies were hares on a mountain, if all the young ladies were hares on a mountain, then men with their hounds would be out without counting. Ah, fal-de-ral, diddle-doll day. If all the young ladies were blackbirds and thrushes, if all the young ladies were blackbirds and thrushes, then all the young men would go beating the bushes. Ah, fal-de-ral, diddle-doll day, fal-de-ral, diddle-doll diddle all day. Blackbirds and thrushes.
Thanks, Moira. I'm glad we didn't have to wait a minute longer for that. So to follow that, we have Martin Neal.
Right, yes. Right, I've unmuted myself. Right, yeah, and I just want to point out, as I've just said in the chat thing, there can never be too many Martins in a.
Oh, yes, they can.
Oh, no, they can't. Yes, that's a musical-ish song, but with sort of traditional roots, I think. It is of a rich merchant I am going for to tell, who had for a daughter an uncommon nice young girl. Her name it was Dinah, just 16 years old, with a very large fortune in silver and gold. And a to-rely, oo-rely, oo-rely. As Dinah was walking in the garden one day, her father come up to her and thus he did say, "Go dress yourself, Dinah, in gorgeous array, and I'll bring you home an husband both gallant and gay, with a to-rely, oo-rely, oo-rely." "Oh no, dearest father," the young girl replied, "I do not feel inclined to be that young man's bride, and all my large fortune I'll gladly give o'er, if you let me stay single for a year or two more, or a to-rely, oo-rely, oo-rely." "Go, go, boldest daughter," the parent replied, "if you will not consent to be this young man's bride, I'll give all your large fortune to the nearest of kin, and you shan't reap the benefit not of one single pin, or a to-rely, oo-rely, oo-rely." Well, as Villikins was walking the garden around, he spied his dear Dinah cold dead on the ground, with a cup of cold poison all down by her side, and a billy-do saying how 'twas by poison she died, or a to-rely, oo-rely, oo-rely. Well, he kissed her cold corpus 1,000 times o'er, and called her his Dinah, though she was no more. Then he drank down the poison and sung a short stave. Now Villikins and his Dinah is laid in one grave, or a to-rely, oo-rely, oo-rely. So come, all you young maidens, don't you fall in love, nor do that by no means forbid by your governor. And all your young fellas, mind who ya claps your eyes on. Think of Villikins and his Dinah, not forgetting the poison, or the to-rely, oo-rely, oo-rely. Villikins and his Dinah.
The song with possibly the best rhymes in the folk repertoire.
Absolutely.
Paul Carter, please restore normal rhyming to us.
I'll do my best. Right. Farewell to the groves of shillelagh and shamrock. Farewell to the ghosts of old Ireland all round. May their hearts be as merry as ever I wish them when far away on the ocean I'm bound. Oh, my father is old, and my mother's quite feeble. To leave their own country, it would grieve their hearts sore. Oh, the tears in great drops down their cheeks they are rolling, to think they must die upon a foreign shore. But what matter to me where my bones may be buried, if in peace and contentment I can spend my life? Oh, the green fields of Canada, they daily are blooming. 'Tis there I'll put an end to my misery and strife. Then it's pack up your sea stores and tarry no longer. $10 a week isn't very bad pay, with no taxes nor tithes to devour up your wages. When you're on the green fields of America. The sheep run unsheared, and the land has gone to rushes. The handyman's gone, and the winders of creel. Away across the ocean, good journeyman tailors, and the fiddlers who played out the old mountain reel. Ah, but I mind the time when old Ireland was flourishing, when lots of her people could work for good pay. But since her manufactories have crossed the Atlantic, it's there we must follow to America. And so to conclude and to finish my ditty, if ever friendless Irishman passes my way, with the best in the house, I would treat him and welcome at home on the green fields of America.
That's lovely. What a song. What a song.
Great stuff. James Eagle is up next.
Okay, I'll get us back on the nautical theme with this is one of Rudyard Kipling's poems set to music by Peter Bellamy. And apparently it's made up of real nautical terminology that he would have heard on the ships out to India and back. I'm sure one of the sailors in the house, maybe Neil or Riggy, can explain it all to you afterwards because I haven't got a clue. Hey, walk around, heave her short again. Over, snatch her over there and hold her on the pawl. Loose all sail and brace your yards aback and full. Ready jib to pay her off and heave short all. Well, fare you well, we can stay no more with you, me love. Down, set down your liquor, get your girl from off your knee. The wind has come to say, you must take me while you may. If you go to Mother Carey, walk her down to Carey. Oh, we're bound for Mother Carey, where she feeds her chicks at sea. Hey, walk around, break it out of that. Break a starboard bower out, a peak, a wash and clear. Port she casts with the harbour mud beneath her foot, and that's the last of bottom we shall see this year. Well, fare you well, for we've got to take her out again. Take her out in ballast, riding light and cargo free. And it's time to clear and quit. When the hawser grips the bit, and we'll pay you with a foresheet and a promise from the sea. Hey, tally on aft and walk away with her. Handsome to the cathead now, oh tally on the fall. Stop, season fish, and easy on the davit guy. Well up the fluke of her and inboard haul. Well, fare you well, for the channel winds took hold of us, choking down our voices as we snatched the gaskets free. And she's blowing up for night, and she's dropping light on light, and she is snorting under bonnets for a breath of open sea. Wheel full and by, but she'll smell a road alone tonight. Sick she is and harbour sick, oh sick to clear the land. Roll down to Brest with the old red ensign over us. Carry on and thrash her out with all she'll stand. Well, fare you well, and it's Ushant slams the door on us, whirling like a windmill through the dirty scud to lee, till the last flicker goes from the tumbling water rose, and we're off to Mother Carey. Walk her down to Carey, oh, we're bound for Mother Carey, where she feeds her chicks at sea. Yes, we're off to Mother Carey. Walk her down to Carey, oh, we're bound for Mother Carey, where she feeds her chicks at sea.
Done.
I'm disappointed that there wasn't a spontaneous translation from the people that were nominated as translators.
I heard someone correctly identify Mother Carey's chickens as stormy petrels, though, so well done.
Yeah, yeah. Get a prize.
Maggie. Gold star to Maggie for
Perfect.
knowledge.
Get a sticker.
Yeah. Not sure I know what one looks like, but
They've got two wings and a beak.
2 wings to the beak, yeah.
Beak maybe.
Okay, I'm going to go next, I think, because it's on the nautical theme, and actually this is a story from my family, which was passed down in just as people sitting around and telling the story. And I turned it into a song, but the reason I wanted to sing it tonight is in memory of my Aunt Helen, who died last week, unfortunately, at the age of 94. And she's being buried tomorrow, and because of COVID, I can't be there. So I'm going to sing this song for her and in her memory. I dreamed a dream again last night that took me back to when I sailed the 7 seas, and I saw a man swept from deck in Atlantic gales. He'd been a baker on land, he said, but he drank the business away to hell, so he went to sea to earn his bread and to count off his days by the old ship's bell. We were making good speed in a favouring breeze when a storm got up like a devil from hell, and a wave rose up like an angry fist, and it knocked that big man over the rail. As we sprang to the rigs to reef the sails, we all thought we'd seen the last of him. When a man's washed over, he goes straight down. No sailor ever learned to swim. But this man once belonged to the land, where the fear of the sea is a distant thing. In the crashing waves he pitched and tossed, then he righted himself and he started to swim. Then every man who stood aloft strained his limbs to reef the sails. We'll give any man a fighting chance who can swim for his life in Atlantic gales. But a ship in a storm must run with the wind. She may reef her sails, but she dare not turn. They threw him a line, but he could not reach. His hands closed on water as he passed the stern. Then every man from deck to sail cried out to give him strength and will. He was far too far for a voice to reach, but he swam and he swam and he swam on still. But a ship in a storm must run with the wind. She may reef her sails, but she dare not turn. Farther and farther behind he fell, till our eyes strained to see far behind the stern. The spyglass passed from hand to hand, from the decks to the yards to the high mainmast. The word went down, he's swimming on. From the crow's nest I saw him, but I was the last. Aye, we watched till he had passed from sight, till the waves were empty and darkness fell. But in my dreams on a landlocked night, my God, I swear, he swims on still.
Lovely song.
Great song.
Oh. Thank you. So that was a story that was passed down in my family. It was my great grandfather who drowned at sea, and he did swim behind the ship in an Atlantic storm and they watched him with the spyglass until he'd passed out of sight. So yeah. Next we have Tara.
Oh.
Yeah.
La, la.
Yeah. Over to you, Tara.
I really wish it was as easy to mute myself in real life as it is on here. That would avoid a lot of saying the wrong thing. Anyway, I'm going to try and sing and play the guitar, which I have recently started to learn. And hopefully my fingers won't get slippery this time. But anyway, we'll see what happens. So it's Fotheringay, because I think the words are kind of appropriate. So it's not quite in tune, but hopefully you won't mind. How often she has gazed through castle windows all, and watched the daylight passing within her captive wall, with no one to heed her call. The evening hour is fading within the dwindling sun, and in a lonely moment those embers will be gone, and the last of all the young birds flown. Her days of precious freedom forfeited long before, to live such fruitless years behind a guarded door. But those days, alas, no more. Tomorrow at this hour she will be far away, much further than these islands or the lonely Fotheringay. Sandy Denny.
Then, song.
Thanks, Tara. I don't know what happened with Jan. I don't know why she couldn't hear me calling her in. So if anybody knows her and can contact her, it might be worth passing that on. I think that she's left feeling bad about that. She's certainly not trying to ignore her. Anyway, a person we can't possibly ignore is Neil. You're up next.
I'm sure you can mute me. I think it was one of the Martins that took us down the mine, so I'm going to follow them anyway. I'm a celebrated working man from work I never shirk. I can hew more coal than any man from Glasgow down to York. And if you'd like to see my style, call around on me when I've had several beers in the barroom. In the barroom, that's where we congregate to drill the holes and fill the coals and shovel back the slate. And for to do a job of work I am never late, that's provided that we do it in the barroom. I can judge a shot of powder to a 16th of a grain. I can fill my 18 tubs though the water falls like rain. And if you'd like to see me in a perpendicular vein, when I'm setting timbers in the barroom, that's where we congregate to drill the holes and fill the coals and shovel back the slate. Or to do a job of work I am never late, provided that we do it in the barroom. At Button I'm a dandy, I hope you will agree, but ganning along the ganning boards I make the tie-ins flee. Them Kelly sweeps and double bends, they never bother me when I'm sitting on the benches in the barroom. In the barroom, that's where we congregate to drill the holes and fill the coals and shovel back the slate. And for to do a job of work I am never late, that's provided that we do it in the barroom. I can set the standard timbers, lay a bar or single prop. I can cut me juds at bottom, I can cut them at the top. I tell you it's a marvel, lads, how I get through the work when I'm sitting in me glory in the barroom. In the barroom, that's where we congregate to drill the holes and fill the coals and shovel back the slate. And for to do a job of work I am never late, provided that we do it in the barroom. But now my song is ending, I hope we have another. But don't you fire no shots in here or we will surely smother. The landlord here would sooner pub here than go to all the bother to set up ventilators in the barroom. In the barroom, that's where we congregate to drill the holes and fill the coals and shovel back the slate. For to do a job of work I am never late, provided that we do it in the barroom.
Certainly rings true, Neil. Thank you for revealing your career choices there. Okay, next up we have Dave Clare. Over to you, Dave.
I was going to sing a song about a mining disaster, but I don't think I will after that one. But as Riggy's made a big effort with his schooner or whatever it is there, clipper, and if people aren't too seasick with all the nautical theme, this one's got a chorus, so you can all join in. Grown be my parents who drove my love from me. Cruel was the Paris gang that took him off to sea. Cruel was the little boat that broke him from the strand. And cruel was the big ship that took him from the land. Haul away, boys, haul away. Haul away, boys, haul away. Oh, cruel was the water that ship it sailed upon. Cruel was the fair wind, for now my love is gone. If you'd blown a roaring gale, you'd have left him on dry land, where we could walk together, and I could hold his hand. Haul away, boys, haul away. Haul away, boys, haul away. Oh, the ring beneath my pillow is the ring you gave to me. I'll wear it for me true love, for all the world to see. But cruel was the captain, the boatswain and his men, for they didn't give a farthing if I saw my love again. Haul away, boys, haul away. Haul away, boys, haul away. Oh, cruel was the cannon that took my true love's leg. Now he is forced to fiddle, and I am forced to beg. A vagrant and a vagabond, with his rantipole wife, we fiddle and we scrape along to the ups and downs of life. All the way, boys, all the way. All the way, boys, all the way.
Lovely, Dave.
A bit queasy after that.
Beautiful, beautiful.
You should have gone down the mine.
I don't think I've known so many nautical songs outside of a shanty session. Anyway, great, thank you. Simon, you're our next performer. Haul us away to wherever you will.
Here's a shanty.
This is not nautical. Actually, I don't think I know many more nautical songs. This is a Leadbelly song. It's a very happy tune about a very sad subject, about a poor girl who gets murdered by a barman. That's a great tune. Come on and take heed concerning the death of LSB. Come on take heed concerning the death of LSP. LSP was down there having a loving fun. Come and see what Bill Martin done. LSP was down there having a loving fun. Come see what Bill Martin done. Bill Martin, he was tall and slender, well known for being a bartender. Bill Martin, he was tall and slender, well known for being a bartender. Come on and take heed concerning the death of LSP. Come on and take heed concerning the death of LSP. The deed, Bill Martin, that you done was to kill Porella with a Colt 41. The deed, Bill Martin, that you done was to kill Porella with a Colt 41. Come on and take heed concerning death of LSP. Come on and take heed concerning the death of LSP. Come on and take heed concerning the death of LSP. Thus far, come on and take heed concerning the death of LSP.
Hey, great!
Well done, mate.
Where's the washboard when you need it?
Yeah.
Was that the death of LSD?
Ella, E-double-L-A, Speed,
Ella Speed.
S-P-E-D, Ella
Oh,
Speed.
sweet.
So
Oh.
speed, not acid, Riggy.
It did sound like LSD.
Sorry, it's a lead belly.
Wishful thinking, Neil.
Well, some cracking audience participation going on there. Will it continue? Will it continue for Martin Woodford? Only time can tell. Martin, you're on.
Hiya, yeah, I hope I'm on. Yeah, great. This is a song that I know from Maddie Pryor and June Tabor. I'm a fallen weaver, as many a one knows. I've now to wait, I've worn out my clothes. The clogs are both broken and stockings have none. I'd not give me tuppence for all I've gotten on. Oh, Billy Bentley kept telling me long that we'd have better times if I'd not but hold my tongue. Well, I've holding my tongue till I've near lost my breath, and I feel in my own heart I'll soon climb to death. I'm a fallen weaver, as many a one knows. I've now to wait, I've worn out my clothes. Oh, Billy's all right, but he never was clemmed, and he never picked on in his life. We held on for 6 weeks, thought each day was the last. We tarried and shifted till now we're quite fast. We lived upon nettles while nettles was good, and Waterloo porridge was the best of our food. I'm a fallen weaver, as many a one knows. I've now taste, I've worn out my clothes. close. Make logs about broken, all home to Ewan. And I've woven myself to far end.
Nice one, Martin. Nice one.
And about time we had another profession as well. So thank you for bringing in the weaving profession, Martin. I've only got another 3 people with their hands up, which is going to take us nicely up to around 11 o'clock. Unless there's a slew of people out there without their hands up, in which case I'd say it's actually too late anyway. So our next singer is Dave Harbord, and possibly Moira. I don't know if you have joined there for a duet. Anyway, up to you and over to you. Oh, okay, unmute there, Dave. I thought of just leaving you.
Sorry. Yes, we've already had an Ed Pickford song this evening, and this is he's a lovely songwriter. This was written about 1972, I think. Anyway, come, all you good workers who toil night and day by hand and by brain to earn your pay, who for centuries long past for no more than your bread have bled for your country and counted your dead. In the factories and mills, in the shipyards and mines, you've often been told to keep up with the times, that your skills are not needed. They've streamlined the job, and with stopwatch and slide rule your pride they have robbed. But when the sky darkens and the prospect is war, who's given a gun and then pushed to the fore and expected to die for the land of your birth, when you've never owned your one handful of earth? You're the first ones to starve, you're the first ones to die, you're the first ones in line for that pie in the sky, and always the last when the cream is shared out, for the worker is working when the fat cat's about. It's all of these things that the worker has done, from tilling the fields to carrying a gun and yoked to the plough, since time first began, and always expected to carry the can. Thank you.
Lovely stuff.
Anybody know if Ed Pickford is still alive?
Yes, I think he is. I sent him an email about 2 years back.
Did he reply?
Yeah. And he replied, and he actually then sent me a CD of other people singing his songs. I thought it was rather lovely, but he was ever so friendly, and I said I wanted to sing his song, and can't remember the reason I actually emailed him, but anyway, yeah, he sent me an email of his stuff, and so that was about 2 years back. He might have popped off since. I don't know.
Well, he's about 76, I think. I remember doing gigs with him 40 years ago, and he was
That's not too old.
He was a bloody good singer himself.
Yeah, he's a lovely man as well. I think written some beautiful songs.
Well, thanks, Dave, and very appropriate to these times when we know exactly who is carrying the can at the moment. So 2 singers to go. One is Riggy, and the other is Martin Wright. So Riggy, you are on. You are our penultimate singer, and I see you're reaching for your concertina there. So on with it.
Okay, this is all too appropriate.
Oh, you're on mute. You're on mute.
All too appropriate. I wanna die. I wanna die easy when I die. I wanna die easy when I die. I wanna die easy when I die. Shout salvation as I fly. I wanna die easy when I die. I wanna see my mother when I die. I wanna see my mother when I die. I wanna see my mother when I die. Shout salvation as I fly. I wanna die easy when I die. I wanna see my father when I die. I wanna see my father when I die. I wanna see my father when I die. Shout salvation as I fly. I wanna die easy when I die. I wanna see Jesus when I die. I wanna see Jesus when I die. I wanna see Jesus when I die. Shout salvation as I fly. I wanna die easy when I die. 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 Shout salvation as I fly. I wanna die easy when I die. I wanna die easy when I die.
Beautiful, Ricky.
Yes, mate, that was a lovely coronavirus song. That was, yeah.
Say that again.
It was a lovely coronavirus song.
Yeah.
Not so easy.
Yeah, that's
Too close.
one of the
Too
most
close to the bone.
intimidating things about this is how hard the death is.
Okay, so
Sod Corona.
Martin Wright is a newcomer to this session and our final singer for this evening. With or without a coronavirus song, you are on, Martin, and welcome.
How on earth did this happen? I didn't plan this at the beginning. It's all
I'm just doing the mute thing. You need to unmute yourself. Yeah, that's the spirit.
There we go. I didn't plan this at the beginning of these. Now, I'm not quite sure how this happened. I tried some Zoom distance learning teaching the other week, and it was a completely disaster. So I hope this isn't. And the trouble is, you've had the Franklin song already, I hear. So that's the only one I really know from beginning to end. So here we go. Let's try this one instead. On the Raglan Road of an autumn day, well, I saw her first, and I knew that her dark hair would weave a snare that I might one day rue. I saw the danger and I passed along the enchanted way. So I said, let be a dawning leaf at the dawning of the day. On the Grafton Street in November, we walked lightly along the ledge of a deep ravine where can be seen the worth of passions pledged. Saw the danger and they passed along the enchanted way. And I said, let grief be a falling leaf at the dawning of the day. Well, I gave her the gifts of the mind, and I showed her the secret signs that's known to the artists who know the true gods of sound and time. I gave her words all without stint. I gave her some poems to say, with her own baby there and her own dark hair like clouds over fields of May. On a dead-end street where old ghosts meet, well, I see her walking now, away from me so hurriedly that my reason must allow that I did love not as I should, a creature all made of clay. When the angel lose, the clay he'll lose his wings at the dawn of the day.
Play. Maggie, you didn't sing, did you?
Nice one, Martin.
Well, folks, that is the end of our list of singers. It's just after 11 o'clock.
Thank you, Amanda.
I think it's time to say goodnight, but please come back. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you,
And
Amanda.
yeah, have a good week. Bye.
Amanda, thanks very much.
Bye.
See you all.